first track of the album, Nikes, opens up and almost engulfs you into the song like heavy waves crashing into each other. With its rich textures and dreamy atmosphere, you immediately realize that you've entered this beautiful, uncharted world that's blonde. The theme of materialistic hedonism and how it can impact our lives is explored on Nikes. The track makes reference to Nike shoes, shiny gold and glitter, and indulgent fantasies, serving as a critique and a warning of a materialistic lifestyle. The first verse of the song conveys just that.
These bitches want Nike.
This is a setup.
They looking for a check.
Oh my god.
Tell them it ain't likely.
This bitch.
When Frank says looking for a check, it has multiple meanings, serving as a triple entendre. Check meaning Nike shoes, a money check, or a check in validation from their friends for wearing Nike shoes. However, Frank sees right through this and denies them because they aren't interested in anything from him but his money. It's also important to note that Frank singing at a high-pitched voice is symbolic of him reminiscing on past events. This is a motif that he has sprinkled throughout the album. By seeing the world's complicity in material society, Frank acknowledges it in himself and questions the world's capability to be real, playing off the idea of knockoff Nike shoes when he says,
Your
All
life
you want is
angel.
Nikes, but the real ones.
the person Frank is singing about in the first half of the song is really today's society personified, always caught up in the newest shiny thing and not interested in making up time to form relationships with people, but instead pursuing quick and forgotten intimate moments. This is a subject that Frank touches on later on the project. He opens up a story to narrate an Italian girl who gets caught up chasing after this Nike's lifestyle. Frank's cousin that he mentions runs a drug business, and he calls his girl his mermaid, saying that she keeps scales, meaning the scales of a mermaid's tail and the scale that is used to weigh drugs. In a Nike's music video, there's a woman swimming around in a tank full of water when Frank says, the Italian girl obviously isn't a real mermaid, as it shows her struggling to breathe underwater, or in a literal sense struggling to fit into her surroundings. Now she's weighted down and holding her breath, meaning that she's stuck in a lifestyle that's holding her back. In the very next line, Frank reveals that this woman never really had a chance anyway.
If you couldn't get to the
Punk meaning fake, Madre and Papa meaning mom and dad in Italian, he's saying that her parents were just like her, the rebellious type, and didn't really give the girl a strong family dynamic like she needed. This leaves the girl, or the mermaid, stuck with Frank's drug dealing cousin, who technically acts as her boyfriend but doesn't really care for her. Since she's used to this type of relationship from her parents, she's content with it, accepting her drowning situation and saying it's good enough.
You don't care for me, but he cares for me, and that's good.
Yo, really quick, if you're enjoying this breakdown, I have a Patreon where you can support me and my channel for as little as $1 a month. It helps way more than you think, especially in numbers. I'm trying to hit $101 Patreons to keep leveling up my videos, and in turn, you'll get extended cut versions of my videos that aren't allowed to be on YouTube because of the subject matter. If you want to be a part of that and you want to help support my channel, the link is in the description. Okay, back to it. Final lines of the verse describe the shallowness of the relationship and reveal just how much she's in denial about the whole situation.
We don't talk much,
holler at your guava.
but when we talk about something, we have good
Oh my god. Hold up.
discussion.
There's a pause in the words good and discussion, showing how the girl doesn't even know the meaning of a good discussion. It only says that as an attempt to make her situation sound better to herself. In the second verse of the song, the pitched up vocals disappear from Frank's voice, signaling that we're now in the present, where he talks about how this Nike culture affects him personally. He starts the verse off by stating that he's the one in control of his music and he's the one in control of his art at the end of the day, letting both record labels and his fans know that they can predict when music will come out, but ultimately he creates his own future.
Let you guys prophesy. We gon' see the future first.
This is something I've always respected about Frank's artistry. In a world where audiences expect artists to put out high volumes of work, Frank Ocean's catalog completely contrasts the current meta, allowing him to really stay true to himself as a person first and an artist by any means necessary. Frank then goes on to talk about his drug usage, foreshadowing a bigger theme later on the album. So Nike's exposes how materialism and validation can consume us, but what happens when we strip that all away? The next song, Ivy, is all about young love and regret, and how the past still lingers even when we try to move on. You can watch that breakdown right here, or if you want to see my full deep dive on Blonde, you can check that out on my main channel, Spacial.